Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network this afternoon from Legion Field in Fort Morgan. It's Game 2 of our Longs Peak League doubleheader as the visiting Roosevelt Rough Riders, the home team in Game 2, take on the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Rejoined by John Prouty, I'm John Beltran. And John, let's just hope Game 2 is a lot better than Game 1 when Fort Morgan lost 16-3 in 5 innings.
Yeah, the wheels kind of came off the cart there in the third inning, and they just it never recovered from that. So, but I will say Charlie Langford had a good first showing as a pitcher, and I'll say it again, keep him in the lineup, keep him in the rotation.
And I'm telling you right now, I think Coach Langford is strongly considering that for future games. Perhaps even in this game, if Jaden Carrera, the starter for Fort Morgan, gets into trouble. The lineup has changed very little for Roosevelt, but the Mustangs do have some changes, especially near the bottom of the lineup. Brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Batting first is the shortstop, Charlie Langford. Trey Romero, the first baseman, at second. David Keller hits third. Jason Diaz, the catcher, bats fourth. Chase Redding is batting fifth. Jaden Carrera hits sixth. Miguel Davila hits seventh. Alan Nevada is in the starting lineup hitting eighth. And Angel Lopez bats ninth against right-hander Zach Guntel. The pitch. Fastball, a strike down the middle. It's 0-1. Charlie Langford had a double in Game 1. Down and away. First pitch time, 1:20. 68 degrees at first pitch for Game 1. I bet it's not much warmer now. And the wind is still whipping. And that fastball is down and away. Game 2 temp is 71 degrees. The right-hander to the plate, squaring to Bunny, pops it up, and Giuseppe Salvatore dives along the third base line and makes the catch in fair territory. What an athletic play. If not, that's a base hit. And that is an all-star play by the catcher, Seppi Salvatore, the Rough Riders.
Yeah, and he made the sacrifice on that one, diving for that ball and hanging on to it.
Well, but if there's anybody that I know, of everybody I've befriended in my entire adult life that can appreciate it, it's a former catcher, John Prouty.
Yeah, and that's just, you got to make that effort, and it's that extra 10% there. That's a 100% effort.
Pitch to Trey Romero, fastball away, and he did the right thing, making the basket catch.
Yeah,
I mean, if you try to make that glove side up, you're not catching that ball. You dive with a basket catch. The pitch, fastball is just outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Romero in Game 1 was 0 for 2. And the pitch, fastball, a strike on the inner half, 2 balls and 1 strike. 16-3 was the Game 1 score. And the offering, fastball down and in. The Mustangs trying to snap a 7-game losing streak. Their last victory was against Frederick, an 8-4 win in Frederick. Don't know the last time they won at home, but it's been a while. That's down and in. In fact, the last time, it's a 4-pitch walk. In fact, the last time they won at home, you and I did the game, John.
Yeah.
6-5 over Brush. There are the 3 wins, Elizabeth, Vista Peak, and then at Frederick. Those were all either neutral, site, or road games. So David Keller will now bat for the Mustangs. He went 0 for 2 in Game 1, and he lines it foul off to the right. This game was supposed to be played on Thursday. That's why Fort Morgan is the visiting team.
Yeah, and the plus for today is, we have wind, but we don't have rain, and it's not cold. So I guess you look for the little wins.
The pitch, swing and a miss to a fastball. Down the heart of the plate, it's 0-2 to the senior center fielder, David Keller. 1 on, 1 out, top of the first, Game 2. And Guntel to the plate, swing and a miss and a pitch up and in. It's a strikeout, and there's 2 down for Jason Diaz, who had a 2-run homer and a base hit. He had a very good game, an excellent game. Yeah, he's one of 4 starters throughout the season, underclassmen. Him and Charlie Langford and Trey Romero and Jaden Carrera, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Guntel's bringing it, John.
Yeah, he really is, because it looks like they're behind that pitch every time.
No balls and 1 strike. He's not messing around. The pitch. Swung on, grounded over the mound. Towards center field, cut off. Nice play by the shortstop. Fired to first for the out. That's an excellent play behind the bag by Brady Mylander. and he retires Jason Diaz, and the Mustangs are done in the top of the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. To the bottom of the first we go. The score, Fort Morgan nothing, and Roosevelt coming to bat on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. I'm John Beltran, back with my longtime friend and Knight of Columbus brother Knight, John Prouty. We head to the bottom of the first inning, no score. And batting first for Roosevelt is the shortstop Brady Mylander, the designated home team for Game 2. The center fielder Elias Pardo hits second. Catcher Giuseppe Salvatore is the third hitter. The cleanup hitter is the third baseman Israel Castillo. Campbell Deasing, the right fielder, hits fifth. Jaden Smith in left hits sixth. The DH Nate Wren hits seventh. Devin Mitchell at first hits eighth. And Josiah Martinez, the second baseman, bats ninth. Trey Romero's at first for Fort Morgan. Alan Nevada's at second. Over at third is Chase Redding. And between him at short is Charlie Langford. Angel Lopez in left. David Keller in center. Chase Romero is in right field. Jason Diaz behind the plate. And Jaden Carrera, who's thrown some good games here at Legion Field last Saturday, being an exception against Northridge, but threw very well against Mountain View and Frederick. On the hill, 0-2 with a 6.49 ERA. And here's Brady Mylander. 0 for 3 in Game 1, but he was on base a couple of times. That's where a lot of Rough Riders in a 16-3 win. And the pitch. Breaking ball is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, the wind is still a factor. You can hear it beyond the microphone.
It just keeps gusting.
The offering fouled off the end of the bat with a little changeup. Count is even at 1-1. Mylander, Pardo, and Salvatore in the bottom of the first for Roosevelt. No score. And the pitch upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. Mylander awaits. And the pitch down and away with a bender. It's 3-1. And you really need Carrera to extend himself as much as possible.
Yeah, he's got huge job today. He's got to step up.
And the 3-1 pitch swung on and popped up into foul territory. The catcher Diaz near the dugout giving chase, and it's off his glove. Tried to make a basket catch in front of the first base dugout occupied by Roosevelt. Instead, it's just 3-2. And again, anytime it gets up into the wind stream, you've got to adjust.
Yeah, and like you said, it's kind of that knuckleball movement. It's just kind of drifting all over the place.
3 balls and 2 strikes. This was a power field in Game 1. 4 home runs were hit, 2 by each team. 3-2 on Brady Mylander, the offering. And that's up and in. It's a walk. Mustangs issued 10 walks in the first game. And already to the first hitter in game number 2.
Yeah, we can't really get into that routine of walks again. We've got to stay away from that. Make them earn it.
Here's Elias Pardo, who threw the final inning to secure that 16-3 win in the first game. And watch out, because Mylander can run over at first base. Mylander's got some wheels. The pause, throw back to first. Back in diving is Mylander. Carrera wants to keep him close. But let's see what happens when the ball is put in play. The Mustangs have got to sharpen themselves up defensively in the infield. The pause and the pitch. That's upstairs. Took something off at 1 ball and no strikes. To Elias Pardo. We know the last time the Mustangs had a doubleheader against Skyline here, they lost both one-sided games. That could happen again unless Fort Morgan keeps this close. Bunted up the first base side, and it stays fair, and it's a base hit. That stayed fair just inside the line. Diaz wanted that thing to roll foul.
Yeah, it was right on the line, too.
And it's a base hit for Elias Pardo. Man, that thing just got stuck in the ground.
It did. That was a good, quick bunt, though.
Oh, excellent bunt. I mean, it had a little bit of air to it, but it died.
Just sat on the line.
And watch out for Salvatore. He had 6 RBIs, including a 3-run homer in the first game. The stretch. Jaden Carrera looks back. And the pitch. Changeup is a strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Yeah, you want that changeup to induce pop-ups, but not deep pop-ups.
No.
Which is what.
Well, not with this wind.
Carrera looks in. Looks back. Long pause the pitch. Changeup is just off the plate.
That was a good spot to miss.
1-1. Well, assuming Carrera stays healthy, he's going to be a 4-year starter on that mound.
Yeah, he will.
And,
I mean, as a freshman this year, the learning curve is huge, but
he's had some good outings.
He's had some good outings. He's going to get better.
The pause. Runners take their leads. The pitch. Again, outside with the off-speed. It's 2-1. Well, and the thing with Salvatore, he wants to get him out in front with that changeup. But Salvatore already proved with that 2-run double in the 5th inning, he can go the other way.
Yeah, and he'll sit back and wait on it, too.
And Lopez is way off the line and left. Swing and a miss. Again, pulling the string, it's 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, Angel Lopez is in the left center field gap. There's got to be about 75 feet between him, if not more, and the left field line. So if Salvatore goes the other way, he'll be running for a while.
Yep.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on. Nobody out, bottom 1, no score. Carrera stretches. Carrera pitches outside. Again, that same off-speed pitch, 3 balls and 2 strikes. You know what, John? You're going for the sweep. If I'm Roosevelt, I start these runners because you're throwing off-speed pitches.
Yeah, I start them right here.
It'll be a payoff pitch here to Giuseppe Salvatore. Here it is. Swung on and lifted into deep left field. Lopez is back towards the fence. He reaches out. He dives. Did he make that catch? He made an incredible catch at the warning track. A tremendous play by Angel Lopez, robbing Salvatore of an extra base hit. And that is justice in baseball because Salvatore had 2 pop fly singles in the first game and got robbed in this one.
Yep. 2 pop fly singles that just dropped.
Holy mahungus, what a play.
And there's the holy mahungus. It was a tough read, and you could see he was trying to read it back and forth and got twisted up a little bit, but he made that catch.
Here's Castillo from the right side. And the runners did not advance. Swung on and grounded up the middle. The shortstop Langford will step on the bag for 1. Jump throw to first. Safe. Oh, man, he nearly pulled off the double play by himself on that jump throw. Fielder's choice, 6 unassisted, 2 down. That was nearly a sparkling play by the shortstop. And that ball took a little bit of a funny hop and trapped against his chest.
It did.
And I don't think he could get it out of his hand quickly, so that's why he ran to the bag.
Right, and that's exactly what it was. Had he been able to get there, because Narvaez was there, he just couldn't get it off his chest. So he just said, well, I'll run there and get it off and get the throw.
Campbell Deasing, a right-handed hitter, did not play in Game 1. The stretch and the pitch. And that is on the outside corner for a strike. Man, lots of good off-speed stuff thrown by Jaden Carrera. I haven't seen him pitch all season. Brian's had all the assignments when Carrera's pitched. But I know he works the corners and fiddles around with the opposing hitters. The offering. And that's upstairs, and the count levels at 1-1.
Well, and as a freshman, he's got a good presence on the mound.
Well, it's very calm. He's got that demeanor is nothing animated, just very easy, as you mentioned, very calm. 1 ball, 1 strike, the offering, outside.
I mean, he's not getting rattled. He, knows his job, and he knows what he's got to get done, and he goes to work.
Well, there is a base open. If Deasing reaches, 2 balls and 1 strike. No score, bottom of the first inning, 2 on and 2 down. The pitch, swing and a miss. Again, out in front of a changeup, it's 2-2. To the right-handed hitting Campbell Deasing. At third is Mylander. Castillo at first. And the offering runner goes. Down and away, it skips to the screen. That's going to score Mylander in the wild pitch. Castillo's going to round second. He'll stay right there. And Roosevelt has a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that was a wild pitch.
I saw it bounce up there. That's what I mean.
Did it bounce short?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, it bounced and well, the thing
I couldn't
is,
tell
it
he
bounced.
dropped, and I couldn't tell if it went off of him
bounced.
or if it bounced.
I'm not sure. He really didn't block it, but to Diaz, but it definitely took a little bit of a bounce, and that's why it had that little hop to it. That's what I saw. I mean, I could be wrong. The stretch, 3-2, swung on and fouled back.
There we go.
But Carrera's now been extended 21 pitches. You want to keep it at around 12 to 15 per inning.
I was going to say like 15 pitches, no more.
Again, he's at 21 and 3-2 to Campbell Deasing. At the belt. To the plate. Fastball is up and in. It's a walk. First and second for Jaden Smith. 0 for 3 in game one. But was walked once, and he struck out twice, though. RBI opportunity for Jaden Smith. At the belt, Carrera to the plate. Outside with a little bit of a bender. 1 ball and no strikes. Roosevelt won the first game in 5 innings, 16-3. Brush lost to University today. I believe that was 5-1 the final score, but that's a good outing for Brush against the number 2 team in the state in 3A. Upstairs, 2-0, 6-1 final score. 6-1 University defeated Brush. Thank you to my friend Christina Tyne. Kevin Fergus called that game on her sister station 1010 KSIR. The offering, well, that's a strike, top of the zone. 2-1 to Jaden Smith.
I think Carrera's just trying to figure out where that top of the zone is for the umpire.
Yep, and he just found it right there on that pitch. Is it going to stay there, though?
That's always a $1 million question.
And the 2-1 offering, and that is a little bit up and away, 3-1. I mean, he isn't not missing by much other than the pitch that got away.
Yeah. I mean, he's been pretty solid.
Runners take their leads. 3-1. Swung on and grounded off the pitcher's glove to the second baseman, Nevada, as he steps in the bag for the force. That's a nice play.
That is.
And as John Prouty knows, that has actually scored 1-4. 1-4 in the force because it did deflect off of
the pitcher,
of Jaden Carrera's glove. 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and 2 left. Let's head to the second inning. Roosevelt 1, Fort Morgan nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Chase Redding homered in game 1. John Beltran back with John Prouty. 1-0 Roosevelt. As we head to the second. The pitch. Fastball is upstairs from Zach Guntel. 1 ball and no strikes. And the offering way outside. 2-0. And the pitch. That's right there for a strike down the middle. These Roosevelt pitchers, once they fall behind, they find the zone. 2-1. Wild pitch scored the run in the bottom of the first. The offering. Swing and a miss. Threw some cheese right by him. It's 2-2. Redding's home run came in the final inning. The offering over but low. 3-2. Chase was officially 1 for 2 in that game. 1 ball, 2 strikes to begin the top of the second. The offering, and that is, I got that ball forward, no?
Yeah.
There you go.
Should
Okay.
be ball 4.
All right. No, I just saw his body language. I wasn't sure.
Right. And that's the batter not knowing what his count
No,
is.
I'm unsure. Jaden Carrera now hits. Carrera was 0 for 2 in the first game. I think Josh Langford's going to have him bunting. Likes to play the small
He's gotta
ball.
get a
The pitch,
bigger-
nope, he's going to swing away. And that is up and in with a fastball.
Well, Redding with his speed should have a bigger lead out there, so he could get a good jump on that if it is a bunt. Either way, he should have a bigger lead to get a jump on it.
1 ball and no strikes. Guntel to the plate, squaring to bunt. He lays it down third base side, but it's right back towards the pitcher. Backhanded throw to first for the out. And we'll give him a sacrifice, even though I'm not sure he's totally sacrificing for a hit, but that'll be scored. 1-3, 1 down. Yeah, needed more the third base side and had too much of the mound there. And here's Miguel Davila. Miguel hitting 105. Check swing, did not go with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 Roosevelt. They're the home team for the second game. Top of the second inning, Guntel to the plate. And that went behind him. That's as wild a pitch as you will see. And Redding to third.
So 90 feet away from tying up this game.
Yeah, that one just got away completely.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And what you're seeing here is a contrast of pitchers. Guntel more of a power pitcher. Carrera is more of a finesse arm. 2-0 to Miguel Davila. The pitch, swag and a miss. Fastball in the inner half. It's 2-1. Mustangs looking to stop a 7-game losing streak. Infield is playing back, conceding the run. Fastball rides inside. You get a split here. It's almost like sweeping the 2 games because you got so badly beaten in the first game.
Right.
3-1.
It's such a one-sided win.
Right. 3-2. Well, the goal here is just to play 7. I mean, that's goal number 1, then try to win the game.
Right.
Here's the kick and the pitch. Swing and a miss on a thing that was neck level with a fastball. No reason to swing at that. It's
None
another
whatsoever.
strikeout, 2 down. Zach Guntel has picked up his second strikeout. Alan Nevarez now hitting. The pitch swung on and
Good
lifted toward
looper.
right field, but it's got a lot of carry to
yeah.
it.
Right
And
to
because
it.
of the wind, it's going to be caught by Campbell Deasing, and the Mustangs are denied in the top of the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left at third base. An inning and a half is complete. Roosevelt 1, Fort Morgan 0 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's move to the bottom of the second inning. It's 1-0 Roosevelt as they go for the sweep of this doubleheader in Fort Morgan. Jaden Carrera will be facing near the bottom of the order at this point. Yep, 7, 8, and 9. This is the bottom of the order. Nate Wren. Devin Mitchell had a grand slam in game 1. And Josiah Martinez and Wren was 0 for 3. You think everybody hit in that first game, but they didn't.
No.
The pitch upstairs.
Well, and the one thing about Wren is he likes the high ones.
Well, but Carrera had 15 balls and 12 strikes in the first inning, yet only allowed a run. 1-0. That's right there. Oh, man, call the ball. Where is that changeup? Looked pretty good from here at the knees, but it's 2-0. If it's going to be that tight, you're giving the pitcher a significant disadvantage. The offering. Curveball is fouled. Out of play, 2-1. 1-0 Roosevelt, bottom 2 after they won the first game, 16-3 in 5 innings. The offering in the dirt with a changeup, 3-1. And finesse pitchers can be affected by wind. You know, they
very
just
much
can't
so.
power through, you know. And the 3-1. Nope, not even close. That's blocked by Diaz. It's another walk, a second issued by Jaden Carrera. Third, in fact, issued by Carrera. Here's Devin Mitchell.
Yeah. Carrera's needing to find his mojo out there on the mound.
Yeah, and Mitchell doesn't look like a big, strong hitter, but he did hit a grand slam in
He
game
did.
1, so forget about I was thinking prior to that. The pitch, taken for a strike. Another changeup down the middle, knee high. It's 0-1. Off of first is Nate Wren with about a 2.5-step lead. He takes off. You got to step off, and now the throw to second to slide, and he's going to be safe. Got underneath the tag of Nevades. It looked like the throw beat him, but it was a bang-bang play. And Wren steals second, even though he took off well before Carrera even stepped off the rubber. And we can't tell from here, Dave. I was thinking, John, is that because the throw was there?
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I don't know where he missed with that one.
Swung on and fouled.
Because the throw was there, the tag was on.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not looking down at the bag where the field umpire was, and certainly it could have been foot hit the bag just as he got the tag on too.
No balls and 2 strikes. Devin Mitchell awaits. Here's the pitch. Swung on line, and that's a base hit into shallow right center field. Rounding third is Wren. And it's an RBI single for Devin Mitchell here in the second. Roosevelt 2, Fort Morgan nothing. And that ball sounded like it was hit off the end of the bat.
Yeah, it did. It sounded like it got right off the end of the end cap.
But when it's hit off the end of the bat and it gets some trajectory, it also has topspin. And it comes down pretty quickly.
Dives right in. And it was right in the gap.
Here's Josiah Martinez. In game 1, he was 1 for 4. The offering. That's on the outside corner with a bender for a strike. Roosevelt has scored in every inning they played in today. All 7 innings. 5 in the first game, 2 so far in the second. The stretch. The pitch. Curveball is outside. That levels the count at 1-1 to Josiah Martinez. Carrera throws back to first, and back in diving is Mitchell. Mustangs and Riverdale Ridge Ravens right here from Fort Morgan Tuesday at 4 o'clock. I'll have the call on B106. I'll be in Thornton on Thursday. Those same 2 schools will hook up. Long pause and the 1-1. Swung on and lifted into shallow right center field. That's going to drop for a base hit, although Mitchell got a bad read on that baseball running from first to second. And again, not hit very hard, John, but as you mentioned, just perfectly in the gap.
Yep. And that wind is still carrying it just enough, but not too much that time to where it dropped. Yeah, I mean, it's just they're just good hits and good placement.
Yeah, I thought Mitchell should have been at third.
Yeah,
that ball hung there for a while. I mean, Keller got a good jump from center, but he knew that was a base hit. But Mitchell, the base runner,
didn't. He held up.
Yeah, he thought that might have been caught. Brady Mylander has walked, and he scored in the first inning. Squaring to bunt, and the breaking ball's down and away. And Roosevelt has 3 hits in the game, and only 1 has been hit hard. In fact, their best hit was an incredible play made by Lopez on the edge of the track on a ball that was launched by Salvatore in the first inning. Throw back to second, and back in as Langford was covering as Devin Mitchell. And when you're playing good ball like Roosevelt is today, you normally don't run into a cheap out.
No.
You've got to earn them.
You've got to earn the outs.
1 ball and no strikes. 2-0 Roosevelt. Nobody out in the bottom of the second. The offering, squaring to bunt, lays it down foul along the third base side on a pitch that was on the inner half. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. I mean, baseball is just one of those sports. It just proves that hitting the ball hard, and I get exit velocity is important. And you're making good contact, but base hits come in so many ways. And we've seen it here. We saw a bunt single that landed
right on the line, sat on the line.
The pitch, squaring to bunt up the first base side. Perfect bunt. It stays fair. Romero to first, and that's going to be late. Well, we'll score that a base hit, but he kind of hesitated looking to third because it's not an error. That's either a base hit or a fielder's choice, and the bases are loaded for Elias Pardo. That's knowing. You got to know where you're going to go with that pitch, that play, I should say.
And that was a well-placed bunt right on the first base line.
Yeah, in fact, now that I think of it, all 4 base hits, none of them hit hard. 2 bunts and 2 in the gap. The pitch swung on and grounded towards left field. Langford dives, gets a glove on it. It's a base hit, a run scores. It's a single for Pardo. Crossing home plate is Mitchell. 3-0 Roosevelt in the second.
But give Charlie credit on that one. Does he not make that stop? They clear 2 runs instead of 1.
But did you hear the sound off that bat, John, again?
Off the end of the bat.
Off the end of the bat.
Yeah.
Again, this is a game of placement for Roosevelt so far, but now Mustangs in trouble. Salvatore, bases loaded, and the pitch is in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. I don't know how you pitch this guy. I have no idea how you pitch him.
High and inside.
That's about it.
That's all you got with this guy, because otherwise he's a hitter.
But if he opens up, it's going to be a grand slam because he's got a lot of power. Swung on line. That's a base hit into center field. That might score just 1 run. And stepping on home plate is Martinez. Runner around third. The throw is cut off. It's a 2-run single as Mylander also scores. Salvatore has 8 RBIs on the day, 6 in the first game. Roosevelt leads 5-0 in the second. John, how do you pitch to him? You had the answer, but it's tough. And you have to pitch to him because the bases were loaded.
You do. So in this one, I think you just got to work the zone. I mean, if you got good command of your pitches, with this one, you got to throw him the junk and hope that he gets a mishit.
Castillo hit into a fielder's choice in the first. He had a 3-run double in game 1, and he takes the changeup up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Close pitch. That was a strike maybe earlier when the top of the zone was being established.
Well, and that's the thing that's hard for a pitcher is if you get a shifting zone, you never know where you can't work the zone because you don't know what the zone is.
1-0. Breaking ball down and away. 2 balls and no strikes.
But it's been hard even from up here to try to figure out what the zone is.
Hard to believe this team is 6-9, but then again, there's some solid competition in the Longs Peak League. Runners take their leads. 4 across in the bottom of the second. The offering. Curveball is a strike on the outer half at the knees. 2-1 to Israel Castillo. They've outscored Fort Morgan 21-3 today. And still batting with nobody out. The pitch swung on and popped up along the right field side. Romero, long run, and he dives, and it's going to drop for a base hit inside the right field line. Holding up at second was Pardo. Now he's rounding, headed towards the plate. The throw is up the first base side. He slides in safely. Another Texas leaguer. Another ball that was just dropped in, this time by Castillo. 6-0 Roosevelt in the second. John, this is unreal. I've never seen anything like this.
And it's just good place hits. I mean, and I said it in the first game. If you're a place hitting ball team, you can pick a team apart and you can ring it up on them pretty quick.
But I think Carrera's throwing well.
He is. He's not throwing poorly. They're just hitting well.
They're placing.
At some point, he's got to get some backup out there. There are 8 other guys on this field that need to help out your pitcher.
Here's Deasing, the pitch upstairs. Well, Romero, I thought, got a decent jump in right field, but the ball kept twisting towards the line. Then he dove, and not much. It's almost like you got to play. I think he's too deep, to be honest with you. In right field, you got to play in a little bit more against right-handed hitters.
Had he been about 50 feet in, he'd have had a play on.
Easy catch. The pitch squaring to bunt, and it's low. 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, I mean, I didn't,
because he's playing it way deep out there. I mean, I get center and left, but you're on a right-handed hitter here. You need to come in.
Well, especially with a finesse pitcher. If this is a power pitcher, he might be in the right spot, but seems a little bit deep for this finesse pitcher. 2-0. Swing and a miss.
And even with a power pitcher, I think he's playing a little deep. With a power pitcher, I'd be in another 25 feet.
Yeah, well, I mean, with a right-handed hitter, you come in.
Yeah, you come in.
With a lefty, you might back up like a Salvatore, but Salvatore's been going the other way or straight away.
Yeah.
2-1. That's right there for a strike on the inner half with the off speed. It's 2-2. Still nobody out. 6-0 Roosevelt in the bottom of the second inning. They're the home team for game 2. Off of second is Salvatore, or the courtesy runner. Well, that might be Salvatore. They've had courtesy runners in this game. Yeah, I think that's a courtesy runner out there. Carrera looking for the first out of the inning. He's thrown 52 pitches already. At the belt, to the plate, swung on and grounded sharply and underneath the glove of Langford into left center field. That's going to score a run. Castillo to third. The throw is going to slip away, backed up by Carrera, and that allows the hitter Deasing to get to second. And it's 7-0 Roosevelt, but I'm going to score that an error on Charlie. That ball was right there, hit to him.
Yep.
That was not
he
something
was
he had to lunge at.
instead of getting his glove in the dirt.
Yep, that's E6.
I also think, you hit your cutoff on that. You gave him a free second base because you had no play at third, but you're throwing to third. I don't know. I don't understand that. You hit your cutoff, and then if that guy's coming, you get him at second. At least you get an out.
He also scored an error, 2 errors on the play, one on the misfield by the shortstop, and then the throw that got away, allowing the hitter to get to second. And the Mustangs have committed their first 2 errors of the game on the same play. And Roosevelt's looking to make this a short game again. Jaden Smith hit into a fielder's choice, and that's in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, Charlie was there, but he lifted the glove, and it went right underneath the glove into left center. 1 ball and no strikes. Castillo and Deasing on the base pass. The pitch, and that's upstairs. And keep in mind, this is the 9th hitter of the inning. The first 8 have reached, 6 have scored, and 2 are on base. So they're going to bat around. At 2-0 to Jaden Smith, the offering. Strike. That's a borderline strike, but he's got to get some pitches.
Right. Well, and it is a tight strike zone today.
You got that right. 2-1. And the offering. Down and away.
I mean, the zone is right now almost like 1 foot by 1 foot.
Well, and the wind is starting to cross again. We just saw that. You could hear it in our background. 3-1. A base is open for Carrera. The pitch. Swung on and grounded left side. A dive by Langford off his glove. That's a base hit. A run scores. As crossing home plate is Castillo. To third is Deasing. And on the RBI single from Smith, it's 8-0. Again, another placement hit, and here comes Josh Langford. Very well placed there.
Yeah, it was. It was a good place. Charlie knocked it down that time.
Well, but you know how this rally started? With a walk, and you got to stay away from those.
You got to stay away from those walks.
I mean, again, it's not all on the pitcher, but, John, you know how baseball works. It's a bad sign when you start with a walk.
Right.
Because then that domino effect, you get little loopers fall in. Or
you get guys on for a walk or two, and then you get that looper, and
it just builds.
Adds up.
That's the domino effect in baseball. And now with 7 runs across, and again, I think he's throwing well, but they're just hitting the holes.
They are. They're finding all the gaps out there. Charlie's had to make a couple of good diving stops. And, they're picking apart between third base and shortstop right there.
So first and third with nobody out. The first 9 hitters have reached in the inning. This is a football score now. They've outscored Fort Morgan today 24-3. Yeah, this one really hurts. The stretch. The offering. Swing and a miss. Nate Wren walked and scored in this inning. Runners off the base paths. Or off the bases. The offering. And the curveball high. Runner goes to second. The throw's going to be off the glove of Langford as he tried to cut it off. It is a stolen base. And the count is now sitting at 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, they're thinking 4.5 innings. Easy.
Yeah.
They're thinking 4.5 to Nate Wren. Righty against righty, the pitch. And that's a beautiful pitch on the outside corner with the off speed. One ball and 2 strikes. Can Fort Morgan finally get the first out of the bottom of the second? The pitch in the dirt with a changeup. 2-2. Yeah, just get one out.
Yeah, they're in the quicksand right now.
And build from there. Maybe keep this at 8-0 if you get lucky. 2-2. Upstairs with a fastball. 3 balls and no strikes. You know that Josh Langford does not want to go to another pitcher.
Nope.
But Carrera's throwing 63 pitches.
Yeah.
Romero will be pitching, you would think, on Tuesday against Riverdale Ridge, the offering. And that's upstairs. It's a walk. That's a good call. I mean, it was close, but I thought it was a little bit high. And the bases are loaded. And here comes Josh Langford.
Yeah.
And we're going to take a break. We'll have a pitching change. Looks like Joseph Layden will come in 8-0. Bottom of the second on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Joseph Layden is the new pitcher for the Mustangs. The 3 runners out there are Jaden Carrera's responsibility. Along with John Prouty, I'm John Beltran. Bottom of the second inning. 10 have reached, John. The first 10 have reached, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but Carrera did not pitch bad. He did not. He didn't. I mean, yes. Did he walk some hitters? Yes. But I've seen a lot worse. You know, he's been victim of some just bad luck.
Yeah, and I would say, too, I mean, it was Roosevelt was hitting well, good placement hitting, and they were just finding the gaps. And sometimes that's just how it works.
The pitch swung on, and that ball is lifted into deep left field. Lopez is way back towards the track, and that is 2 grand slams in the doubleheader, and they're both by the same hitter.
Right.
First baseman Devin Mitchell, and Roosevelt now has a 12-0 lead with 11 runs in the bottom of the second inning, still with nobody out.
And again, clearly that one, I think the wind played a factor because it was a high hit ball, and as soon as it got up there, all of a sudden it took off. I could see it going up on an arc, and then it got up about 100 feet and just took off.
Fort Morgan has been outscored now 28-3 today. This is tough. Joseph Layden delivers, and that is low. 1 ball and no strikes to Josiah Martinez, who singled in this inning. And that is a strike. And look at the cap fly off of Layden. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's bipolar, the wind. It's been more on than off.
Yeah, it really is.
But look at the fans up the third base side in the banner. The hair's flying all over the place.
It is.
For the people. Swung on. That ball is laced into the right center field gap for a base hit. And the ball gets loose, backed up by Keller.
That was a great backup by Keller moving over there.
You know,
just like you're supposed to do.
So the concession is open over at the other field, John?
The concession is open over at the Legion Field.
All right, well, I should have been talking about that more because this game is now over. Swung on and grounded to third. Redding has it, flips to second for 1, and back to first. That's going to be late. But it's the first out of the inning. Brady Mylander, 1 for 1, is retired, or actually hits into a 5-4 fielder's choice. But just get somebody out, and they've done that. And here's Pardo, 2 for 2. 12 runs on 10 hits for Roosevelt. The Mustangs are hitless with 2 errors. Fouled. No balls and 1 strike, and now Roosevelt is 9 outs away from their second and 5-inning victory against Fort Morgan on Fort Morgan's home field. No balls and 1 strike. Throw back to first. Back in diving is Mylander. Still got to support these kids. You know, it's a tough situation to be in.
It is.
The pitch, up and in.
Days like this is where a lot of baseball learning goes on, and you figure out who's got the heart to play the game.
For those who either were at the game or saw the game against Northridge on Monday, second best team in the league, it's clear Fort Morgan can play with these teams. They just couldn't finish on Monday. And Roosevelt, only a 6-9 record going into today as that pitch is upstairs, 3-0. Well, it's got 2-1 on the board. Let's see. I had 3-0. The pitch swung on and fisted down the right side, and that's going to be caught by Romero in right field. On the fly, 2 down. Pardo's retired. Here's Seppi Salvatore. A complete nightmare for the Mustangs today. 6 RBIs in the first game, a 2-run single in this one. 1 for 2. It's just no way to pitch this guy. The offering. Swung on and grounded up the middle. A dive and a base hit into center field. Rounding second, headed for third is Mylander. And the throw.
Just gave the kid second base again, though.
Yeah. Because
why do you do that?
Yeah, on the throw, going to second is Salvatore. I'm not sure there was a play at third, but it was thrown all the way through by Keller. And now 2 in scoring position, but there are 2 down.
When you're just making the throw and the kid that fast is halfway to third, there's not a play.
Yeah, that was clearly a first and third situation. But now second and third, let's see what they can hold down Castillo. 1 for 2 in the game. Late into the plate. That's a little bit up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Layden gets a sign at the belt. The offering. Fastball is high, 2-0. And this has been a playoff school for the last several years as Fort Morgan, but going through some tough ones this year, tough games. 3-0, that pitch high again.
Yeah, we're definitely going through some growing pains.
Well, I mean, yeah, you know what? This is like a bad movie now. Let's just get it over with. 3-0. And that's upstairs. It's a walk.
It's like a bad horror movie. You know the girls are going to get killed, but they keep stringing it out.
Well, 17 hitters are coming to the plate now for Roosevelt in the inning. They've scored 11, 2 have been retired, and 3 on the bases. And this is Campbell Deasing, who reached on the air by Langford his second time up, walked his first time up. To the plate. That's a strike. Took something off of that on the outer part of the plate. It's 0-1. 12-0 Roosevelt, bottom 2. The pitch. That's on the outside corner. It's 0-2.
No, he just needs to live there if this kid's not going to swing at those.
With the bases loaded, no balls and 2 strikes. The offering. That's a called strike 3 on the inside corner. He got him on 3 pitches, and it's a strikeout of Campbell Deasing, and the inning is finally over. 11 runs on 10 hits, 2 errors, and the bases were left loaded. We head to the third in Fort Morgan in Game 2. Roosevelt 12, Fort Morgan nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Angel Lopez at the plate to begin the third. Roosevelt 12, Fort Morgan nothing. A nightmarish Saturday for the Mustangs on the baseball diamond, losing Game 1 16-3 to Roosevelt in 5 innings, and they're the visiting team in Game 2, 9-1-2. The pitch from Guntel, fastball, a strike on the inside corner, followed by Langford and Romero. Here you just fire.
Yeah.
You don't have to even utilize other pitches. That's inside. Nearly clipped him at the knees. It's 1-1. Yeah, we were expecting a better day of baseball in terms of execution by the Mustangs. The pitch. Fastball is a strike at the knees. 1-2. Nothing fancy, John.
Nope. Just good, solid pitching right down the, hitting and working the corners.
That's it. Country hardball. The pitch. Fouled at the plate. Nearly secured by the catcher. Salvatore. Remains at 1-2. Yeah, Roosevelt is just looking forward to going home. And how do you do that? By getting the Mustangs out as quickly as possible.
Yep.
And the 1-2 pitch in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. John Beltran with John Prouty. This is into our 4th hour of coverage of Mustang baseball today, but it's been a tough one. The offering swung on and grounded slowly left side. Going to be a tough play. Cut off by the third baseman. Throw to first is late.
Yep.
Castillo could not throw out Lopez on a slow bouncer, and the Mustangs have their first hit of the game.
That was a good play by Lopez, and he's got good speed and used it well going up the line to get there.
Langford popped out. It was that bunt attempt that Salvatore caught on that dive. The pitch fouled off to the right.
Well, the interesting thing is, John, is the Roosevelt's been through their order 3 times now, and we're just now back at the top of our order for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's the top of the 3rd.
Yep. Second plate appearance for Langford, who is 0 for 1.
So, and that's the difference on the day.
Oh, yeah. The pitch, fastball, rides inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. From Zach Guntel to Charlie Langford. Short lead at first, the pitch, swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the glove. I actually got a piece of it. It's 1-2.
Yeah, he wanted all of that is what he wanted. He took a big swing on that one.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the offering. Curveball is fouled back. 12-0 Roosevelt in the 3rd. The visiting half of the 3rd, which is Fort Morgan on the scoreboard for Game 2. They were the home team, the regularly scheduled game, and lost Game 1 by 13. The pitch bounces in. Nice scoop by Salvatore. Two balls and 2 strikes to Charlie Langford. Nice lead at first there. The pitch, swing and a miss. He threw the fastball right by him in the inner half. Langford strikes out. 1 down for Trey Romero, who walked. I think Charlie there, John, took a very hard swing. You just want to make some contact. Pitches a strike with a fastball down the middle just above the knees. It's 0-1.
Yeah, and I think Charlie's just frustrated and he wants to make something happen. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's just about contact.
The pitch, fastball is up and away. Count evens at 1-1 to Trey Romero. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Roosevelt leads by a dozen in the top half of the 3rd. Lopez, the base runner at first. The pitch, way outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Now, Romero does do a good job of being patient.
Oh, gosh, yes.
But you got to be careful when he gets those 2 strikes on him. He has a tendency to look at the 3rd.
Swing and a miss on a pitch down in the zone.
Yeah, he was going golfing on that one.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. I mean, well, you do want to lift it if it gets out in the outfield. And the 2-2 pitch bounces to the backstop. Lopez to second. Wild pitch for Zach Guntel. Now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here to the Fort Morgan first baseman. The pitch, swing and a miss. He threw a fastball on the outer half, and Trey opened up a bit, and there's 2 down. John, that's a quality strike.
It is. It was a quality strike, and
David Keller steps in. The pitch, fastball is upstairs. And Guntel has struck out the first 3 Mustangs in the lineup. Langford, Romero, and Keller the first time up. See if David can make the adjustment here on plate appearance number 2. And he swings and fouls it off to the right.
well, offensively, we've just really struggled today. Defensively, we're doing okay. They're making good hits, and defensively, we're okay. But offensively, we just cannot get the bats going.
And that bounces in again. Nice play by Salvatore. 2-1. Thanks as always to our Mustang sponsors, including Morgan Community College. Continue your education to get an online degree. Swing and a miss. At 2-2, mcc.edu. And the pitch, and that's down and in with a fastball. 3 balls and 2 strikes to David Keller. On deck is Jason Diaz. Off of second. The pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the right. Remains at 3-2 to Keller with Lopez at second. 2 down, top of the third. Fort Morgan trails 12-0 in game 2. The pitch. Fouled. Oh, man, that hit him in the face. Yep. That got him underneath. Hopefully he's okay. Boy, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
It fouled, and it got him directly on the face on an inside pitch. Oh, man, God bless him. Hopefully he's okay.
Well, and I see Keller's dad, who is a
Yep.
physician's assistant, also going out there to check him out.
Well, and remember, it was 2 years ago that John Schwenke, he had his issue when he tried to bunt a ball. And
Yeah.
Dave Keller's running out there. In fact, we're going to take a break. We're going to take an extensive break. He took an inside pitch. Hopefully it's just a concussion or something like that, John. I hope it did not severely damage an eye or anything like that. God bless him with that. He's going to be taken out of the game as soon as he can get up. He's on the ground.
Right.
We're in the top of the third. It's 12-0 Roosevelt on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. All right, David Keller is going to be taken to the hospital. And God bless him. Hopefully he'll be okay. He's a tough athlete. And the pitch, and that's taken for a called strike 3 to complete the strikeout. But that doesn't matter right now. Just the health of the senior center fielder David Keller is the focus right now. Let's head to the bottom of the third inning. In game 2, Roosevelt 12, Fort Morgan nothing. As we had a strikeout to end the inning, we'll tell you about the actual hitter who was up there on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's head to the top of the fourth inning. John Beltran, John Prouty with you, 12-0. Xavier Almanza struck out on the 3-2 pitch. He had to take over for David Keller on the at-bats after he was injured. Jaden Smith, 1 for 2, a fielder's choice in a single. Here against Joseph Layden, followed by Nate Wren and Devin Mitchell, and the offering. And that changeup is low. 2 balls and no strikes. Just 6 outs are needed by Roosevelt to win this one. Breaking ball's a strike from Layden. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch swung on and grounded a short, charging is Langford. He drops the ball, picks it up, and that'll be a Mustang error, and that's the story of the day.
Yep.
And the Mustangs commit another error.
Got to slow down and ball first.
3 errors today in game 2 for the Mustangs, but, well, Heavenly Father, let's please help David Keller heal. Watch out over him in this time of need after the injury moments ago.
Amen.
Amen. Absolutely. Thank you, John. There's a fly ball to foul territory. Romero giving chase. Oh, he nearly had it. I don't think it went out of play.
No, it didn't. I actually think it went off his glove.
Yep, it did. No balls and 1 strike. Wren has walked twice. Yeah, to be honest with you, I wish this game was over. The only thing we're going to be thinking about is the health of Keller. There was a lot of blood streaming down near his left eye.
Right.
And Michelle and Dave, his parents, have gone to the hospital. They're both obviously in the field, so that.
Right.
But I hate to see
Mom's
that.
a nurse and Dad's a physician's assistant, so.
Swing and a miss, yeah. I hate to see that. It puts a damper on the day. I don't even care about the score, and neither do the Mustang players at this point. They're already down big.
And it's always something in every parent's mind. I got 2 kids, one in high school and one in middle school, both playing baseball.
Yeah.
And that's just, I mean, I know that it's the sucky side of baseball.
0-2. Swing and a pop-up into foul territory. Romero giving chase. He does have room this time, and he makes the backhanded catch. Nice catch there by Trey Romero for the out. 1 down.
That's a nice over-the-shoulder catch, and those are hard.
Especially with a gust.
Uh-huh.
1 down for Devin Mitchell.
Well, you watch. This will be the game will be over and the wind will die down.
Oh, don't say that. I mean, single and a grand slam. Grand slams in both games for Devin Mitchell and the offering. And that is upstairs with a changeup from Layden. But, yeah, I hope that David's season is not over, but it could be. I mean, you get an injury like that, and a check swing, and he did not go. Either way, if that was the last game he's played, he's had a heck of an athletic career.
Oh, absolutely.
Great athletic career on the football field as a state championship, had that game-winning interception, game-clinching interception as a junior against Meade, and that's upstairs. Hitting .340 going into today. And, baseball.
Heck of an athlete.
Tough sport. Yeah, good family, and, you just pray that he's okay, and that pitch is a strike. 3-1.
I mean, I know it sounds bad, but I'm hoping that it's just a cut on the cheek.
Yes.
And a few stitches, and he's...
Well, when John Schwenke was injured May 13th of 2021.
Yeah, and that just scares us to death.
His vision,
broke an orbital bone.
Yeah, Dave is still here.
Knocked the eye out of the socket.
Pitches up and in. And it's a walk. And here's Josiah Martinez, who was singled twice. Well, Dave is still here. That might be a good sign.
I think it is. I mean, I think the blood is
maybe they've got it under control. If it was a cut, no big deal. He might just need stitches.
Might even just butterfly it.
Right, yeah. Pitches up and in.
Or you do what we did in the Army when I was overseas. You carry a bottle of.
Oh gosh.
It burns like heck.
Does that numb it?
No.
Or does it just?
It just makes you scream.
Oh, I bet.
It's just liquid pain, is what it is.
Deep fly ball into left center field, or reach out, and the catch is made out in center, and that is Chase Romero with a beautiful play.
That was a wonderful play.
Chase Romero filling in for David Keller, and there's two down. I believe that should be Almanza in right field. That's an excellent play by the senior center fielder.
But yeah, you just put that super glue in a cut, put a butterfly on there.
Okay.
And it'll seal you up.
I'm very ignorant. I need your expertise. So there's 2 outs. Roosevelt has scored in every inning today, but they have not scored in this inning. And Brady Mylander is 1 for 2. A walk, a bunt single, and a fielder's choice in the pitch. Swung on, popped up into shallow left center. This is going to be trouble, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Scoring is Jaden Smith. And it's now 13-0. Mylander is 2 for 3. Another hit that was placed perfectly.
And that's the thing. That's been the story of the day there. Just hitting all of those. They're just hitting those loopers and dropping them in. It's just good hitting.
But those have been set up by walks and errors, too.
They have been.
But you take advantage. Swinging a foul tip into the glove. Pardo, a bunt single, then a conventional single, and he popped out. But they're capital. That's the way you win ball games.
It is.
The pitch. Swung on. That one is popped up. Langford into shallow left field is out. Still backpedaling. And then coming in and dropping the ball in left field, I believe, is Lopez. That'll be an error. It is Lopez. Another run scores. It's 14-0.
And it looked like Langford had the read on it, and Lopez came running in and called him off. So Langford pulled off, and Lopez couldn't make the catch on that one.
But it got him square in the glove, John.
It did. There's no reason to drop those. If you call it, you better, by golly, catch it.
4 errors committed by Fort Morgan, 2 in the inning. And here's Giuseppe Salvatore. And keep in mind, there's a 15-run rule after 4. 20 after 3, 15. This might not go 5.
No, it may not.
You know, when we look back, John, the number of unearned runs is kind of ridiculous.
Oh, I'll bet you in this game alone, 10 of those are unearned.
Well, it feels like it. The pitch is a ball.
I know in the last game.
Last game, yes.
A lot of them.
1 ball and no strikes.
Runs, and I'll bet you 12 of them were unearned.
And the pitch. Swung on, popped up. This could end the inning. Diaz along the first base side. Still moving. It drops. That's a tough play. That wind is catching it. And I thought Romero would have had a better play on that one.
He would have. And he should have.
I'm not sure why he didn't get there.
He was just watching.
I mean, Diaz, to me, did everything fundamentally perfect. He ripped off the mask. Oh, there's Kevin Fergus. 6-1 final score. Here it's been one-sided. You got to almost slam that, Kevin, if you're not going to with this wind. The pitch swung on. That is drilled into deep left center field. Going back, and that ball, is it gone?
Gone.
Yep, it's another home run. A 3-run shot by Giuseppe Salvatore. Here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. No, it's a ground rule double. Check it, a ground rule double. It took a bounce and went over the fence. but Salvatore has 3 RBIs in the game. Here comes a courtesy runner, and it's now 15-0 with runners at second and third, and Salvatore is almost unretirable. You can't get this guy out. Like Kevin Fergus back at the day, you couldn't get him out. That's what I was told.
Right.
Whether that's true or not, I don't. By the way, the pitch, swing and a miss.
These guys for Roosevelt are huge.
They're big. And John Prouty was a part of 3 state championship teams at Valley High School, so I got champions around here. No balls and 1 strike. Brush losing 6-1. They obviously played pretty well. That's a strike on the outer edge. 0-2. This could be a 4-inning game with a 15-0 lead. Roosevelt has scored in all 8 innings they played today. 16-3 in the first game, and the offering. Swung on. That ball is lifted into left center field, and that one is going to drop for a base hit, and that one is going to crash up against the fence. 2-run score. Castillo to second, crossing home plate. Pardo in the courtesy runner. 17-0 in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and a bunch of runs now unearned because of the drop fly ball in left field, John.
Right. And it just snowballs on them. That's the problem. Is everything adds up and just starts snowballing, and once you get in the quicksand, it's hard to get out.
17 runs on 14 hits. The Mustangs have 1 run, and they've committed, or 1 hit, I should say. They've committed 4 errors. And Layden now faces Campbell Deasing. A walk, a board on an air, and a strikeout looking in the offering. That's a strike with a changeup on the outer half. No balls and 1 strike. And if you're down by this much, might as well end the game as early as possible just to save your pitching.
Save your pitching for another day.
The offering.
And really, Layden's been pitching well. He's just not getting a lot of help.
And so did Carrera. I mean,
they just weren't getting a lot of help.
Now, these balls are getting hit hard, but other ones, they were just off the end of the bat.
Uh-huh.
That's a strike on the changeup on the inside corner. Belt high. 2 balls and 1 strike.
I like this perspective. This is nice being
Oh, yeah.
far away from the
Yeah. Swing and a miss. And it's a strikeout of Campbell Deasing. And now Kevin Fergus is lobbying for this setup in Brush, Colorado, where we're down in the field at ground level in the inning. 5 runs on 3 hits, 2 Mustang errors, and 1 left. We head to the 4th inning. The visiting Mustangs in Game 2 trail Roosevelt 17-0 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Along with John Prouty, I'm John Beltran. Kevin Fergus joining us in the booth here. He just called Brush Baseball on 1010 KSIR. 6-1 lost to University, and that pitch is in the dirt to Jason Diaz. But that's actually a favorable result because University, the number 2 team in the state, and for Brush to hang with them as long as they did, certainly a positive, and that's over for a strike with a fastball at the knees. Diaz is 0 for 1, John, but if Fort Morgan doesn't score 3 runs, they're going to lose in 3.5 innings.
Yep. It'll be done and time to go home.
And maybe a blessing in disguise, to be honest with you.
Well, like we talked, saving that pitching for the next game. We're down 17-0 right now. Yeah.
But that swung on and driven
good,
deep into left
hit.
field and towards the track and reaching out, and it's over the head of Jaden Smith. He didn't get a good beat on it, and Diaz into second on a 2-1 pitch with a leadoff double in the top of the 4th inning. And that could have been made. He really did not get a good beat on that baseball. I thought he could have made that catch, but will score a double.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he could have made that catch. It looked like it hit his glove.
Well, Kevin said it's gone, and that's what I thought. But then when you hear it got a little bit of the end of the bat, it didn't catch it flush. But we had 4 home runs in Game 1. The pitch, swing and a miss, and a pitch tailing away to Chase Redding.
Well, he hits that to.
I'm used to hits that are that far
in Brush, right?
Gone, yeah.
Because the fence, because the fence is
only 300.
right, and 300 seems like 280 in Brush. The pitch, swing and a miss, and a fastball above the letters. Zach Guntel is going for the 4-inning complete game. No balls and 2 strikes. The stretch. Pitch to Redding. And that one bounces away and bounces to the screen. And a third is Jason Diaz. And really, Jason, today offensively, he's had a good day.
He had that home run earlier, and, it's been a good day.
Had that base hit down the left field line. Nearly launched another one out of here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 17-0 Roosevelt in the 4th. Swung on and tapped along the third base side. Foul. Count stays at 1-2 to Chase Redding. Mustangs need 3. It's 20 after 3, 15 after 4, and 10 after 5 of the high school rules in terms of the margin, and the Mustangs are down 17-0, being outscored today 33-3, which is unbelievable. The pitch, curveball called strike 3. That was a perfect pitch.
It really was too. That
right there,
break on that.
Belton.
He had some monster break on that.
Zach Guntel has picked up his 6th strikeout. And here is Joseph Layden hitting in Carrera's spot. Swung on, that ball is lifted down the right side and foul. No balls and 1 strike with Jason Diaz at third. 1 out in the visiting half of the 4th inning. Mustangs and Riverdale Ridge right here on Tuesday. Fastball, a strike at the knees. In fact, Kevin will be in Eaton on Tuesday. Brush goes from facing the number 2 in University at home to number 1 Eaton on the road. 0-2. Up and away. Yep, I did say 0-1, but it's 0. Thank goodness I have John here to signal me, hey, moron, get the count right. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Fastball is upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, it's true. I mean,
I would never say moron.
Well, I did.
More on than off. How's that?
There you go. I like that one. I like that one. And the 2-2 offering. Curveball that's a called strike 3 anyway. Even if he didn't swing, that's got to be a strike even off the swing. 9 strikeouts. Layden strikes out 2 down. Here's Miguel Davila, who struck out swinging his first time up. This would have been the perfect day for baseball had the wind not been such a factor.
Yeah.
And the offering. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, he was way behind that.
And we're going to keep it right here for the post-game show brought to you by Advanced Agri Solutions. We won't even take a break. That way we'll be done here momentarily. Pitches up and in. 1 ball and 1 strike to Miguel Davila. Did not start in game 1. Out of the windup. And the pitch. Swing and a miss and a sweeping breaking ball. Down and in, it's 1-2. Roosevelt not only looking for the 4-inning victory, they're looking for a shutout. Mustangs scored all of their runs today on home runs. The pitch. Fastball is up and in. You can hear that glove being pounded on those pitches. Guntel's thrown 73 pitches, so it's not like he's economized here. He's thrown a lot of pitches for just getting 11 outs. The offering, curveball, that is inside. John, he could have been rung up there. I thought he was going to be rung up.
Had that broke like the last ball he did, he'd have gotten rung up on that one.
3 balls and 2 strikes.
Turning away from it.
Guntel to the plate. Fouled right off the catcher's glove. Good job of Davila staying alive. Right now, this is about developing good baseball habits. The game is not even in question.
No.
Just do your best, have a good approach, and see what happens.
Find out who's got heart and keep battling.
3-2 is fisted in the air first base side, but that's going to drop. Mitchell will not get there. First baseman there, Devin Mitchell. Grand slams in both games. Not in the same inning like your favorite player, Fernando Tatis, back in the day for the Cardinals at Dodger Stadium.
Tatis who?
3-2. And that one hit him on the breaking ball, did not break enough. And that will allow Angel, is it Franco or Lopez? That's Franco.
Franco.
Jesus Franco with a chance to drive in a run with 2 down. Mustangs down to their final out because they trail by 17. They've got to make this a 14-run game in order to extend it. Fort Morgan has 2 hits in the game. So Franco is in. He did make a brief appearance in game 1. And he walked. Swung on line.
Nice
That's going to be a base hit into right center field. Diaz is going to score. And to second is Miguel Davila. Fort Morgan is on the board at 17-1. You celebrate the small things.
You know, the positive is you don't get blanked.
That's true. Again, develop some good habits.
Yeah, and that was a good, solid hit, good place hit, right out over second base in center field.
Angel Lopez got the first hit, that little dribbler up the third base side, and that one hits his helmet. Yep, it got him on the helmet all of a sudden. Fort Morgan is thinking with Charlie Langford coming up that if he can clear the bases. No, not even. If he gets a 2-run single, we go to the bottom of the fourth.
Absolutely.
Well, Zach Gunzel got a little bit too comfortable. He's facing hitters who not had much varsity action. He gives up a base hit, then he hits a batter.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Charlie Langford, he actually is a hitter.
He's popped out and struck out 0 for 2 in the game. The wind and the pitch, and that one bounces to the plate, blocked and scooped up by Salvatore. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the kick and the pitch. Down and away again. Is he going to last this inning?
I don't know.
Gunzel's thrown 80 pitches, and yet he can't get this final out. And Fort Morgan is campaigning with this rally to go to the bottom of the fourth. The pitch swung on line foul off to the right. 2-1.
Almost went into the dugout.
Well, if he hits it in the air, with the way the ball's flying out of here, it could be 17-5. Not that the game is in question, but you could make it closer to the pitch. Fastball is upstairs. I think this could be his final batter.
Yeah, I think you're
Trey
probably right.
Yeah.
I can't see if they've got anybody going in the bullpen down there from this angle.
3 balls and 1 strike. The pitch foul to the backstop. Now something's got to give.
I mean, I can't imagine that they do have anybody going in the bullpen because I would assume that they would think that this game's over.
Well, it is over, but Gunzel can't get this final out. It's 3-2. Right. The offering swung on and grounded on a big hop to short.
Oh.
Deflects off the shortstop in the shallow center field. The game will be extended. That'll score 2 runs, and we'll call that a bat hop single by Langford, a 2-run single, and it's 17-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't score that in air. That took a terrible hop.
It did. It took a bad hop. Uh-oh.
And as Charlie hurt, Brady Mylander, oh, man.
I don't know if Charlie hurt his ankle going across the base. I just looked down there and saw him sitting on the field. No, he's up. He's moving.
Well, we'll have a courtesy runner.
Probably being a little dramatic.
Tyler Baker will be the courtesy runner.
Charlie likes to get a little dramatic every now and then.
Yeah. But if that took a conventional hop, then the game is over.
Yeah.
But it didn't. It took a wild hop. No air on Mylander. Give Charlie the 2-run single. So Roosevelt will have to score at least a run in the bottom of the fourth inning, and they were a pitch away on several occasions. Swung on and lined up the middle, and that is into left center field for a base hit. That'll plate Angel Lopez. Trey Romero comes through, and the Mustangs have scored 4 runs with 2 outs. It's 17-4.
Well, we've had a lot of experience doing our best work on 2 outs.
Here's Xavier Almanza. He struck out. He came in for Keller when Keller was injured on that 3-2 foul ball that went off the left side of his face, unfortunately. We've already said a prayer here for David that he will heal. Swing and a miss, a check swing. No balls and 1 strike. So the situation is simple. They'll have to score either 2 runs or just hold Fort Morgan to the top of the 5th. The pitch, fastball is inside unless Almanza extends the rally. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, because if he does, then you're back up to Jason Diaz. And he's already had 1 home run and 1 solid double all the way out to the fence.
Out in front of that all-speed pitch, it's 1-2. Gunzel stretches. The pitch, foul tipped into the glove of Salvatore, and Roosevelt finally gets out of that jam. Mustangs score 4 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 2 left. Roosevelt needs 2 runs to end the game, but the Mustangs do extend the game. It's Roosevelt 17, Fort Morgan 4 after 3.5 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's head to the bottom of the 4th inning. 17-4 Roosevelt, and swung on and fouled off on that off-speed pitch. Joseph Layden, who came in for Jaden Carrera, now facing Jaden Smith, who's 1 for 3. The offering in the dirt with a bender. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, even if Fort Morgan holds Roosevelt here, John, they've got to do what they did in the last inning. They got to score 4 runs.
They do. They got to score.
So,
but they did it. I mean, they stood and delivered on that last inning. So we'll see if they can hang in and do it again.
Breaking ball down and away. I have yet to eat a donut hole. I don't know what I'm doing. I should, but I'm on.
Did I eat all of these? I don't think I did. I think you had some.
No, I have. I would claim to be a pig. but not in this case. But that might change.
Half of them are gone, so I guess I'm the pig today.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, now I've got 2 sets of equipment I got to get out of here a little bit later on.
Well, I'll give you a hand.
The pitch. Oh, I appreciate that. Upstairs, 3-2 to the opening hitter of the bottom of the 4th inning. Jaden Smith, 17-4. Fort Morgan trails. The offering. Swung on and popped foul and out of play. 2 runs will end the game. Or, if they hold Fort Morgan to fewer than 4 in the top of the 5th inning. Mustangs, the designated visiting team, since they were supposed to play this one in Johnstown on Thursday. Roosevelt won game 1 16-3. The pitch swung on and lined on one big hop to short. Throw to first is going to be right there. And let's see who's at short, because that's not.
That is not Charlie Langford.
That is Jesus Franco to make the play. 1 down.
That was a good play. He made a good scoop and made a good throw.
1 down for Nate Wren. Wren has walked twice and popped to first on that over-the-shoulder catch that Trey Romero made in foul territory. The pitch, foul to the backstop. It's always nice if you lose, John, that you're not on the field, you're in the dugout. You know what I'm saying? That you get, well, no, you know, I mean, you don't want to be walked off.
I know.
You don't want to be skunked, swung on and popped up into shallow center field. Coming on is Romero, and Chase makes the catch. 2 down.
Nice.
I mean, Layden's done a very representative job. Keep in mind, a lot of those runs he gave up in the previous inning were unearned.
Yep. But I would tell you, too, I would say that being a ball player, I always wanted to be on the field. Win or lose, I wanted to be on the field.
Well, I'm saying if you lose, what I'm talking about.
Oh, I see what you're
That's
saying.
what I mean. No. I'm talking, if you lose the game, you're better off in the dugout where they get the final out than, you know, if they score 2 runs, they walk off the field. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
0-1. So I think I might have misstated that. But if you lose, you don't want to be walked off. You want to, you want the opposing team to get you off, to get you out. And the breaking ball swung on and missed in the dirt.
Hell, he is. This kid wants to hit badly. He wants to ring it up again.
He's got 2 grand slams, 1 in each game. Devin Mitchell. The stretch. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He strikes out. 3 pitches, a swing and miss, and Joseph Layden retires the side in order in the bottom of the 4th inning.
And that's a nice way to finish that inning.
Roosevelt 3 outs away, 17-4 over Fort Morgan on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Zach Guntel will go for the 5-inning complete game. 17-4 Roosevelt, top of the 5th inning. Jason Diaz has had a huge day for the Mustangs. The pitch, fastball is over but low. 1 ball and no strikes. 1 for 2 in this game with a double. In the first game, had a 2-run homer. The pitch that bounces in. Yeah, Guntel trying to get that final out. He's just not looked good. I don't know how he's going to finish this inning. He's at 91 pitches. Better start throwing strikes before they have to go to the bullpen. The pitch swung on and grounded up the middle. To his right is Josiah Martinez. Fields drops it, throws to first, and that's going to be late.
Yeah.
An error on Martinez after he misplayed it at second. Well, Roosevelt's defense has not been flawless either.
No.
They've committed, well, that's their first error, but at least that's what's scored here.
They've had a couple of
They had errors in the first game, yeah.
They've had a few bobbles like that.
Chase Redding has walked and struck out. 4 runs, extends the game to the bottom of the 5th inning. The pitch, fastball, a strike. On the outer edge at the knees, it's 0-1. 2-step lead at first. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Man, he threw some heat by him, down and in. 0-2 to Chase Redding. Guntel to the plate. Fouled. Well, Zach Guntel has picked up 8 strikeouts in less than 4 innings, or in 4 innings, I should say. Now into the 5th. The pitch, foul tipped on a check swing by Redding. Well, they're going to use up every pitch they can for Zach Guntel. He's at 96. Then they'll have to pull him unless he can get some outs quickly. No balls and 2 strikes to Redding. The offering. Curveball is outside. 1-2. 17-4 Roosevelt in the top of the 5th inning. They won by 13 exactly as well in game 1. The pitch. Fastball called strike 3 on the knees. Strikeout number 9. And Redding is out number 1. And here's Joseph Layden, who struck out looking on 3 pitches his first time up. Might have been a tad low, but if it's close, John, in a game like this,
you never let the umpire decide it.
You got to swing away. The pitch, swing and a miss. Man, he's throwing heat.
It is, yeah. I mean, that looked like Layden was behind that.
99 pitches for Zach Guntel at 0-1. The offering, outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Layden's done a nice job on the mound. The pitch. Swung on, grounded to second. It's an easy play to first is made on the throw by Martinez. Advancing to second is Diaz, 2 down. And here is Miguel Davila. He helped keep the game alive an inning ago when he was hit by a pitch. All Guntel needs is 1 out over the next 9 to 10 pitches. The offering, swing and a miss and a fastball away. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike, top of the 5th inning. The pitch, swing and a miss and a fastball down and in. It's 0-2. Roosevelt will move to 8-9 overall. Mustangs will have lost 8 in a row, and that's over but low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tough day for Fort Morgan. Undoubtedly, Davila awaiting. Breaking balls in the dirt. It is 2-2. Guntel with pitch number 106. Here it is. Swing and a miss and a fastball above the letters. It's a strikeout of Davila. And the Roosevelt Rough Riders have swept the doubleheader 16-3 in game 1 and 17-4 in 5 innings in game 2. As we welcome you to the Mustang postgame show, it's brought to you by Advanced Agri Solutions. Advanced Agri Solutions. Another fine sponsor of Morgan County Athletics. And now is a good time to begin your planning for next year's growing season. Get a full plan of seed, food, and water for your field. Call Dusty or Roxy, 970-571-2024. 17 runs on 14 hits for Roosevelt, 1 error, 6 left on base. The Mustangs, 4 runs, 5 hits, 4 errors, 6 left on base. The winning pitcher was Zach Guntel, going the distance with 9 strikeouts. The loss went to Jaden Carrera. Time of the game, 1 hour and 39 minutes. And the difference was really an 11-run second inning. That was it. The Mustangs did rally with 4 runs in the bottom of the 4th, but Devin Mitchell had the big hit with that grand slam, his second in as many games. And between Devin Mitchell, John, and Giuseppe Salvatore, who had 6 RBIs in the first game and 2 in the second game, the Mustangs could not neutralize those hitters. And then you have the walks in the first game and some untimely errors. It's hard to compete.
It is, and it just, everything adds up. Every little bit adds up, and it adds up to 17-4.
No, without a doubt. I mean, that says it all right there. Just the final score. You can break it down any way you want. Jason Diaz did have a nice day with a 2-run homer in game 1, a base hit in game 2, and a home run in game 1 for Chase Redding. But once again, Fort Morgan drops to 1-11 in conference play, 4-13 overall, as they got swept today. Roosevelt 5-7 in the Longs Peak, 8-9 overall. Mustangs back in action coming up on Tuesday right here against Riverdale Ridge. I'll have first pitch at 4 o'clock or just prior to that right here on B106. Thanks to my buddy John Prouty. Excellent job today on a windy but fairly warm day.
Not too windy here in the booth.
Perfect conditions in the booth. I'm John Beltran. Roosevelt sweeps the doubleheader, both games in 5 innings, 16-3 in game 1 and 17-4 in Game 2 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.